Hello guys, my name is Hafiz and thanks for tuning on to my channel. So today I'll be doing a comparison between the FC Compact and Nintendo FC. Basically FC is family computer, yeah. Now the FC Compact, I'm just gonna call it China, and the original Nintendo, I'm gonna call it Japan. Let's put it that way, China and Japan, and both actually look alike, almost look alike aside from the Nintendo word that is missing from the China version. Now the difference between the two is pretty minor, however it meant a lot to audiophiles. Now if you're an audiophiles, basically you are very particular about the sound, like myself, okay, and you are playing it and you turn up the TV volume, you're gonna notice a little bit of difference in terms of the music, especially. So the music on the China version is a little bit of a lower quality, I can say that, and also the volume of the China version is much more lower than the original Nintendo family computer. Now that's one of the difference during the gameplay. However, in terms of connectivity, yeah, I'd say the China version is much more user-friendly. Alright, if I were to take out the controller over here, okay, I were to take out the controller, as you can see I already tied it. It's actually very long. The wire is very long, and that is one of my major complaints for the original family computer. Aside from that, the pirated version or the China version, of course it doesn't have AB label on them. However, it contains turbo function, which the original one doesn't have. So that's a plus for the China made. And the one huge advantage is that on the China version, like I said, the controller is separated, it's long, and that means if you have the original set and your controller is not working well, my one is a little bit of clunky, especially on the diagonal control of the you want to press forward and down or forward and up. Sometimes, especially when you're playing Contra, it's like it's aiming all over the place, and that is the thing that is hard to maintain on the original family computer. Now we're gonna take a closer look. However, before that, let me tell you the reason why I chose to buy both. There is one huge difference, and that is because the China version comes with a cartridge that I got here, and the cartridge name is Coolbaby 500-in-1. Of course, there are no 500 different games, okay? Some of the games are like, duplicates and shit like that. That happens. Even in the past, you'll find this kind of shit. However, there are some great games inside here, and Super Mario Bros. Is weird, okay? Super Mario Bros. 2 and 3 is missing. That is sad because those are like the main game for family computer. However, I do have the original Super Mario Bros. So it doesn't matter to me. Donkey Kong 1, 2 and 3 are all inside here, and when I boot up the game, especially games like Contra, it works flawlessly. It is the real deal. I'm not joking, it is the real deal, yeah. And you don't have to actually go to eBay and Amazon and get a separate cartridge one by one or title per title. That is one of my concern when having the original family computer, is because the games these days, as you guys know, are really rare and really expensive. It can get very super duper expensive, and I don't want to invest my money on such games that only last me like about 15 to 20 minutes. Face it, during the NES time of family computer, the games are very short, and for them to for people to actually sell them at a very high price is really a concern for me. So that is the reason I actually got this guy together with the China set for $45 Singapore dollars, and that means that's like only about $28 to $30 US. That's right, and includes all these great games inside here. So I just pop in the cartridge into my original set, and voila, I just choose my game and it works. That's my motive of actually buying the pirated set, the China set. Yeah, but then again, because I already bought it, so I just want to share with you guys the exterior and also show you some gameplay that I record of the set, okay, and to show you, especially in terms of audio, the differences in the game. So let's have a look now. Let's have a closer look now on the set itself. Alright guys, so here we are on a closer look between the China version and the Japanese version. The China version of course doesn't have the word Nintendo on them, and the Japanese version has. Now on top of that, there's also some difference in terms of labels. As you can see, the Japanese version has some sticker. It has a couple of stickers telling you what these two things are, and the China version has no stickers. However, it does have some Chinese word. Yeah, if you are not really sure if you guys can see that, some Chinese words embedded to it, and of course, you know, you don't really have to read what it does because here clearly says reset and power. Yeah. Now eject button wise, the eject button works almost the same. However, to eject the cartridge, I find that the original version is much more smoother. When you pop in the cartridge and you know you want to eject it out, you push that, this one pops out easily. However, for the China version, you know, it's a little rough. This thing is fine, the spring is fine. It's just the way the cartridge pop out is what makes the difference on them. Yeah. Okay. So sorry if the focus actually got out of the way. Now another difference is that if you look at the controller, all right, here you can see BA. Okay, the original Japanese version has these two words. On the China version it doesn't has. Now this is B, this is A, and on top of here is turbo. Okay, so that's the difference. However, I have to say that the China version controller feels much more better, at least for me. The buttons are much more firmer, and of course the wire is longer, and it doesn't matter if you put number 2 or number 1, you know, in either of these ports it will work just fine. So that's the advantage of it, because if you look on the original Famicom or family computer, the controllers and the AV cable are all attached in here. See that? It's all attached, and the wire is very short. That is one of the major complaints that I have. And if your controller is spoiled, especially the diagonal part, yeah, if you want to press this and this at the same time, it can get a little bit funny on the original Famicom. It gets spoiled easily, get worn out easily, and it's not really ideal to have something like that. So you can buy an extension or third-party controller if you can find one for here. But how I wish, you know, this controller works over here, but it doesn't. As you can see, the number of pins are actually different. Right, this one, the China version, which is this, has a lesser amount of pins compared to the Japanese version, so it doesn't work, and it's not easy to find a controller. Trust me guys, it's not easy. So in terms of portability, I'll say that the China version is much more better than the Japanese version, because you have to bring all these wires together with you and you cannot separate them, and you know, it will look a little messy if you were to put it all together and set it up. And also the console have to be close to you for the Japanese version, because the controller wire is damn super short. So that's one of my major huge complaint about it. Now of course at the back, if you look at it, the China version says Coolbaby, that's right, and the Japanese version on the other hand, it has the wording Nintendo. There, can you see that? Nintendo. Yep, made in Japan. So now if you look inside here, I find that the China version, alright, it's having a little bit problem playing the original games. Most of the time the picture doesn't come out, I don't know why. But then again, if you pop in the 501 cartridge, it will work just fine. And of course the color is also different, blue and black. Yeah, so that's that's most of the difference here in terms of looks of it. However, I have to say the main huge difference is of course when you already are in the game. So let's have a look of the game and hear the sound between the two versions. Alright guys, so as you can clearly hear that the audio wise the China version is not so good compared to the Japanese version. However, like I said, my only gripe with it is that the original Japanese version requires either third-party controller or it's just the way it connects. That's my only complaint about it. So anyway, I have relatives coming over, so that's it. Thank you for checking out Games on AXE. I'm Hafiz and I'm signing off from YouTube and Facebook.